Hi, my name is Tara Kachaturoff, and I'm the host of Michigan Entrepreneur, where we feature businesses from startup to stellar. Today I have as my special guests Ryan LaPensee and Paul LaMantia. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So you're co-owners of a company called Backyard Bats. And before we dive into that, and we got some bats here, so you all know what it's about, why don't you tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to meet each other? So I'll start with you.
Yeah, so we both played baseball at Wayne State together. Grew up playing travel baseball in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. My background professionally has been in tech, mostly automation and artificial intelligence. And then, starting this venture with Paul last May, really bringing my tech background, and then I personally played professionally for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, wow.
So having that as well, so that professional baseball, and then with my tech and kind of contributing to the company in that way.
All right.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, this is his World War II helmet here, Joe LaMantia Sr. in Windsor, Ontario, taught me how to hand spin a wood baseball bat 20 years ago.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Just prior to his passing, he taught me how to do that, and as a labor of love to him on his deathbed, I spun my first bat that our family signed as a labor of love to him. So that's a bat that's next to my dad's bed every night, like we were talking about before the show about bats. And my background professionally, I'm the sales director for a company called Barron Championship Rings. So bringing my sales background and then tying that with Ryan's tech background, we thought our teammate camaraderie that we had would be a perfect marriage here.
That's great. That's great. And you are almost childhood friends or childhood friends?
Yeah, so
you know
we
each
met about 16 years old playing travel baseball together, and we've played on many teams. Fortunate to win a lot of championships together, right? So to be able to have championship rings, and Paul's company's made us championship rings, right? So full circle there. So.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So why don't you speak a little bit about how the company came to be, a little bit of the history, and then you two coming together about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for about 20 years, my father, John LaMantia, and I ran the business as a hobby business in Windsor, Ontario. So we had an LLC on that side of the river, flipping bats up and down the highway. This past May,
May.
almost a full calendar year now,
Yep.
Ryan and I had talked about it, let's do this, let's incorporate in Michigan, we'll take the bat company and bring it on both sides. And then this past year, we decided to get Major League certified and got certified in January of this year.
And so what does it take to become Major League certified? What does your company have to do?
Yeah, you have to go through a certification process through MLB, and then you have to basically obtain the insurance, prove that you can create the quality product that needs to happen, and then you have to continue to pass their inspections and that sort of thing. So.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to dive into what you're actually doing at Backyard Bats, and then let's tie that back into your connection with Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are you exactly manufacturing? And we're going to show some of these products
Yep,
after that.
Yep.
So what are you manufacturing at your company?
So wood baseball bats.
Okay.
In November this past year, we bought a CNC machine that we have in Troy, Michigan, in Ryan's father-in-law's machine shop that he's had there for many years. So we plan to expand and grow that operation, but right now we have our first CNC machine, and these are the bats that we're producing. So wood baseball bats made of maple and ash, and then we also have auxiliary products as well.
Yeah, so we've got our gloves that we also make.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And we have
That is
customizers on our site. I'm proud from a tech background to be able to put those in place. So having 3D models where our end users can go and fully customize a product that's one of a kind to them.
Yeah, your site is pretty awesome.
Thank
so
you.
people need
We
to
really
see
appreciate it.
backyardbats.com.
And then we also do batting gloves as well.
Oh,
So
let me see that.
yeah, these are called long cuff batting gloves. So that cuff actually straps all the way around your wrist, giving the hitter a little more like support feeling.
Oh, these are
We use Cabretta leather on those gloves, so it's a very high
Wow, this is
quality
nice.
leather.
This is very nice.
And then rubber PVC for the our logo and all that good stuff.
This
So,
is beautiful. Feels
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, they're really, really nice.
Wow.
Well received so far.
I would wear these just for driving. These are nice. This is beautiful. And this is your logo, right?
It is, yes. Yeah, our logo is really special to us. So
Talk about that.
with our numbers, so Paul's number 4 playing baseball, I was number 5. So the bat's in the 4th position to honor Paul as our bat maker.
Oh, I
and we
see.
have 5
Bat.
items
5 posts in general.
on
Oh.
the fence. So, and then just the nostalgia of being backyard, right? So having the fence,
love
and
that.
it's really an ode to baseball overall and how everyone kind of learns baseball in their backyard with either their mother or their father. So you get the kind of that nostalgia feeling, and then it's an elevated presentation there. So.
And credit to Ryan's wife Nadia for some of the genius there.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
I love that.
Bringing that.
And it's funny because I think about when I was thinking about doing this interview, I was thinking about throwing the baseball with my dad in the backyard when I was a kid, and I still, brings tears to my eyes. I love that. That was a very special time with my dad. Oh my gosh. And talk about this one. This one's like amazing. Like,
so this is our tie-dye glove.
This is beautiful.
So
I would buy that.
It's a very, very nice
Beautiful.
glove. It's snakeskin leather, which is really nice too. And then
Like real snakeskin?
oh no, I'm so sorry.
Patent leather, it just makes the glove a little
Beautiful.
lighter.
Yeah, and then you can see
Beautiful.
how we
God,
emboss our
beautiful.
logo in the center there as well.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
The game's changed a lot, so it's about let the kids play today and kind of show some of their personality and flair, where everything traditionally was always about that black, gray,
Yeah.
brown,
Browns,
baseball-y
muted.
feel. The game's changing, and we're ready to go along for that ride.
I just see like so many opportunities for parents to get some really cool birthday gifts, graduation gifts. I mean, I love these types of things that you can customize. And it's really neat on your site because you can look at things 3D. I mean, the site is amazing.
Credit
you.
my partner here. He's extremely
really appreciate
talented
that.
from the tech side of things.
That splash photo on the front is just, it's so emotional. It brings up so much emotion looking at that. The little kids, the direction they were looking. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It is
our sons
stunning.
are in that photo.
Oh,
so
are
it's,
they?
Yeah, and it's it was taken at Wayne State University where we played baseball together. So it's there's a lot that ties into that emotionally for us too. So.
It really is very stunning.
Thank
The
you.
site is really
Appreciate
impactful. Yeah, I was
Thank
like,
you.
wow, baseball is pretty high tech here. Like the site is like pretty. I mean, it's better than 99% of the sites I've seen out there. It's like this thing is like so modern.
Well, those
And,
feels
like,
that you talked about, Tara, in your
Wow.
backyard, right? Like that's the feeling that we're trying to really capture with that photo, and that's really the idea for the brand here.
yeah, the photo is just stunning. Like, I don't know who took it, but wow. Really amazing photo. So you both decided to go to the same college, and you both got in, and you both did scholarships, right? You were scholarshiped into.
Ryan led the way there.
We did, yeah. So I played 4 years. Paul came in his junior year after having a really successful junior college career. So I was very excited, obviously, to have my best friend come, and we did
That's
some
amazing.
really great things those last 2 years at Wayne State
my
together.
gosh.
We had a lot of great teammates.
Yeah, set some records, and we won championships, and so it was.
Yeah.
And
We're
you
very
both
blessed.
And you both played professional baseball.
He played professionally. I had a cup of tea in spring training that lasted about 2 weeks, so I never played a real professional game, but I did sign a couple independent professional contracts.
Oh,
But my
wow.
partner here advanced as high as AAA with the Diamondbacks.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just recently, and I know we're kind of dating ourselves. This spring or whatever, you were down in Florida. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, and also tie in these pink bats that you have?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so took a trip down to Florida. We shipped 300 plus bats to Lakeland, Florida. So Lakeland, Florida is the home of the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, I did not know that.
So
Oh,
they were
wow.
kind of our home base. Send the bats down there.
Oh, wow.
We rented a black minivan. We called it the Bat Van.
The bat.
And we kind of just drove around Florida for a week and talking to all these different big league teams and making connections and just networking. Sometimes just kind of cold call almost, right? You just walk up to the door and shake some hands and get to know each other. And it led to some really beautiful relationships.
Oh, great.
Especially with the Philadelphia Phillies. So we brought 2 bats here today. 2 superstars for them, Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos. And these are Mother's Day bats. So these are pink bats that they'll be able to swing.
So we're shipping these out as soon as we leave the studio, actually, because they'll be swinging them on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh my
And
gosh!
throughout the entire week, Sunday to Sunday.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that spring training led us to the Phillies, like Ryan said, and 2 weeks ago now, we took a trip down to Philadelphia to deliver on the samples that we discussed with these players. And had an absolute godsend moment there when Nick Castellanos decided to actually take our bat on that very day, step out of the dugout with it, and promptly hit a line drive to left field. So that was the first hit in Major League Baseball with a backyard bat.
Oh my god!
To add to that,
Wow.
about 2-3 innings later, both of my friends, Ryan and Sam, who was with us, had left the seats. So I was sitting next to Nick Castellanos' wife. Nick had left us some seats. And I said, these 2 guys have left and gone to the washroom. Nick is going to hit a home run here, and they're going to miss it. 2 minutes later, 2 seconds later, rather, bam, 408-foot home run to left field. And then they both emerged.
I was watching at the top, so.
And Sam was down in the on-deck circle getting an amazing video of this, just by chance, maybe the hand of God, and we just celebrated. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and the finishing touch was as Nick is walking into the dugout, he points at us in the stands. I still have like goosebumps. About it. Because you feel like as a hitter, I felt like I hit that home run with him.
Yeah, we felt like we were competing with him
Yeah.
in that moment. It was super special.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's a former Detroit Tiger, so
Oh, is
it's
he?
also
Oh.
like a cherry on top too. Like he
Oh,
played for the Tigers for quite a while.
There's just been so much connectedness with the whole entire venture. So, like I said, with my grandfather having taught me how to do this 20 years ago, it's been really near and dear to my heart. I carried my grandfather with me throughout my entire playing career, writing his initials in the dirt, and I can't tell you the amount of godsend moments that occurred during my baseball career where I know my grandfather's hand was on a lot of the at-bats that I had, and to have seen that again show up on the first day that these bats were in Major League Baseball is absolutely out of this world.
That's amazing. And I'm really glad that you brought him in memory here.
Thank you.
It's really important.
Yeah,
I'm glad he could be here for this.
yeah,
This
it's
is like
important to me. That's my way of kind of keeping him here.
This is like an amazing story. So do you have all the video of all of this? Is any of it
do.
releasable because it's
we-
because it's professional?
Yep.
Is it on your site?
We put it on Instagram.
It's on
So,
Instagram?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And Nick's given us the okay, so that's also.
He called me right after the
blessing.
game to congratulate me, which was an incredible moment. So he's been really incredible about this entire
Yeah, he didn't
thing.
have to do any of that. It's
No.
like it shows the caliber of character and person that he is too as a Major League Baseball player.
This is tremendous, and this is wow. Everything about your company, it's just like more than a company. It's about the experiences and all these things that are coming out of it, and how it's impacting you personally, your family. Just
It's been
wow.
extremely organic.
Yeah, and this is like more life work rather than work.
It really
This
is. That's
life
how it
work
feels on the
and
daily.
Yeah,
Meaning.
the passion, right?
Yeah.
Like you can feel the passion here, and you know, we like a lot of companies setting milestones and KPIs and these sorts of things, right? I feel like we don't necessarily do that at times because it is just we're so passionate about this, and it's like let's strive to do this now, and then okay, well we did this, and it happened way faster than we were expecting. But I think it's because we do feel so passionate about baseball and we love it so much that we just pour our hearts and souls into it, right? So.
And I love the fact that you're both Canadians and you're also doing business across the border, and that this is like dialogue and keeps people together.
Yes.
So things can happen out in the world, but we can all come together through sports
Yes.
and through shared moments, and this is what really it's all about.
Yes,
It's
yeah, and
human
this really
connection.
this is a North American pastime, right? At the end of the day, so that's what
Yeah.
we're really passionate about, and we're proud that this is on both sides of the border.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're also infusing it with technology in your site, and also with options for people to express their individuality, and also because like these are great. Like as a woman, I like this. Like, it really opens up options for young women, young
Absolutely.
girls and women that want to get into the sports.
Yes.
And I think that's important too, because everybody can kind of have their own like signature.
Yeah. And women love sports as well. My aunts were some of the biggest influence that I ever had in the game. They both played growing up. They love baseball. So, I mean, for them to be a part of this and feel like they're a part of it is important too.
And it's so funny, thinking about women in baseball. The last time I was in Las Vegas, I was staying at a hotel, and it was literally a convention for women in baseball. And it was like, there was like thousands of people, like all women playing baseball. And like, I didn't even know about something like that. And it was like, wow, And now with these kinds of options and colored, you can get the bats custom. We'll talk about that in a minute. But just that helps bring in other people who would, maybe not feel as invited into the sport. So
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool.
And it's a special week honoring our mothers, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I love the pink bats.
Yes,
thank
so
you.
why don't you talk a little more about the customization? When somebody comes to your site, what kind of things can they customize? Like, I can't remember, and the material that you're making out of them.
Yep.
Do you get to choose the material, or
maple and ash,
do you-
two different wood products.
so you can pick whichever one you want?
Yep.
Speak a little about the differences between those woods. What difference does it make? And in Major League Baseball, which do they use? Because I know nothing about.
Yeah, no worries.
So ash is a ring porous type of wood, and maple is a diffuse porous type of wood. So they're two different types of wood in totality. They have different properties. So ash feels a little bit more balanced, a little bit lighter in the player's hands. Ash was used for about 100 and something years in baseball.
And that's the ringed one.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
So like we were talking about before set, it has those wider growth ears and you can see it. Maple is a bit more of a denser product and it is a little bit more difficult to work with in terms of balance. So if you can get your hands on really good ash, as we do feel like we have a great run on it, we can create some incredible ash products. And the big leaguers have been very receptive to that.
So in Major League Baseball, they use wood bats.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Why do they have aluminum bats then in the world?
That's a great question.
Because I don't know.
Tara.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
why
great
do
question.
they have that? If they're not allowed, correct? Are they allowed in?
Not in
Major League Baseball
or
no.
professional baseball.
So then why
of
do
any
they
sort.
have them?
It's a great question.
I've always thought it was a cost factor.
Oh,
so
okay.
for a college team, you would buy 3 metal bats, and then that whole team would use that for the whole season.
Oh.
These, which is good for our business, these do break. So we get repeat
Okay.
customers because of
I
that.
see.
So from a college perspective and high school perspective, it could get pretty expensive to have to buy 3 or 4 bats for each player. That's always been my take on it.
Now, the construction of wood bats has come a long way in the last number of years, including the shift to split billets versus sawn billets. So the way that they now split the billets at the manufacturer is that they actually take a splitter, and this comes down on top of the piece of wood itself and splits it along the grain line. So what that does is it creates logs or billets that are all straight grain from
Right,
top to bottom.
right.
So if you're
Okay.
sawing into that piece of wood,
Yeah.
now you're dealing with some crooked grain. And when you have crooked grain or crooked variation in the wood, that's when these are more susceptible to breaks and multi-piece
see.
fractures. So the durability of wood bats has gone way up since the invent of split billets.
And are they coated with something special?
We do use a polyurethane finish, which is also a strong finish and creates durability as far as weather resistance if it's raining or whatnot. Sometimes players prefer them to just be nude, which would be just sanded and boned without the poly finish, but yeah, there is a finish as well.
And the logo on that, is that engraved
So
in
it's
it?
a
or-
vinyl.
Just a sticker.
a
It's a
sticker?
vinyl
Yep.
sticker,
Okay.
and then it goes on just prior to the
that's
polyurethane, a laser
That's
engraving
engraved.
up
Yep.
at the top.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and the reason for that is to stay away. They actually were laser engraving here for a lot of years,
But that
the
weakens it?
structural, exactly, the
Yeah.
structural integrity is
Tara.
weakened.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
You know baseball.
Yep.
I'm a pro here, folks. I'm a pro. Okay, and so you're doing all of this here everything's done in Michigan?
The wood bats are done here in Michigan.
Wood bats
in
are done
Troy,
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have some manufacturing in Windsor as well. still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So literally is a two-country.
That's right. So
That's
we're
cool.
we're saying it's our strategic positioning, and because it is. But again, by the hand of God, my friend and partner here married his college sweetheart Nadia, and ended up in Michigan. So
She
it's
kept
worked
me
out
here. So it's been
very
awesome.
well for us.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Velocity being part of the accelerator program, they've really helped us because it's complicated as a business when you're in 2 countries. So just from a legal perspective and mentorship, they've been really huge for us.
Yeah, major boost.
Because this is, it's not simple. what
How
we're
did you
doing.
find Velocity, which is like an incubator accelerator here in the Macomb
Yeah,
area?
so
How
I've
did you
been
find
part
them?
of I've been part of Michigan Founders Fund for about 2 years, and I host Michigan Founders First Fridays at Velocity.
Oh,
so I've been
okay.
doing that for about a year now. So just kind of networking in that aspect, and then I brought the idea last May that we were starting Backyard Bats, and they thought give it some time, see how it's going to go, and then we got accepted into the accelerator program. It's just been really good for us.
Perfect marriage.
Yeah, because it's like I go back to it is complicated, right? So it helps us focus on what we need to focus on and not get so inundated with the legality aspect of it. So it's been really good.
Because sometimes those complexities make you feel like, oh, this is a burden.
The
as
little
opposed to
things
like-
that
yeah.
weigh you down, right?
Yeah,
So
it just
I've
takes the
seen that's
fun out
where
of
the
life.
acceleration comes from.
Yes.
And what do you think is the what do you think is the biggest benefit of being at this accelerator for both of you? Like,
I think it's exactly that, just taking the burden off
Okay.
from the back end so we can
Okay.
stay out more on the forefront doing what it is we need to do and focus our energy there. It's all about energy, right? How much
Yeah.
time you can spend on a given day focused on the tasks at hand, and with Velocity kind of relieving that burden, it gives us the acceleration, no pun intended.
Do they-
have velocity.
Velocity. High-speed velocity.
So much speed.
Yeah.
High speed.
But when you're there, like, do you take advantage of like the connections there? Have people been helpful in like giving you business
We have.
connections?
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
things
So
like that?
they have a Regroup Advisors is
Okay.
kind of their mentorship program there, and just to be able to get insights and advice from folks that had been at different stages of company growth, right? So we're at this, hyper growth stage right now where we have to make some serious decisions, right? So to have people in your back pocket that have been at that phase and stages of companies is really good, just to kind of bounce the ideas off of, and if we go this way, what's going to happen versus this way. So just gives us like peace of mind that folks that have been there before, right?
And in terms of like where you are with the company, are you able to handle the capacity right now of what you're dealing with, or are you? Because once you get to a capacity issue and you start like, having to make other choices about where are we going to be manufacturing, what are we going to do? Like, are you at that point where?
We haven't really scratched the surface at this point in terms of capacity, but we do know it's something that's on the horizon, would be a great problem for us to have to solve at that time.
Yeah. And in your, when, working together, I know we're all over the place with questions, but working together, what do you specialize in at the company, and what do you specialize in, and what are the qualities that you like about each other?
Yeah, so I'm very much on the tech side.
We're talking about Ryan here.
Yes, Ryan. So tech side, just utilizing my network as well. And then I do a bit on the financial side as well to keep that organized. Paul's father's done a great job too, helping us on that side. So I think just my tech background and being able to do things fast in the tech space is really important for us, because we need to continue to differentiate, because the competition is stiff. There's a lot of companies that do what we do. So for us, when trends and things happen, like the torpedo bat that just happened, we need to be able to shift and be able to throw that up on the site very fast and get the sales going, right? So that's kind of where I come in.
And my background in sales, I think, is my strong suit. So staying out on the forefront. I've been in sales for 10 years, pushing the pavement on that side of things. And then obviously my background in manufacturing and with wood bats, being a master craftsman, is really I think my added value to the company.
Are you both working full-time and doing this too?
We are.
Okay, so.
And 6 kids, so.
Between the two of us.
you?
I have 2 and he has 4.
Yes. Yeah.
And you look so well rested.
Oh,
Thank you. We were well trained at Wayne State to wake up early and get our workouts in.
And you drove
we
all
had
the way
great
from
mentors.
Ontario this morning, right?
Yes, I did, yeah. Happy to be here.
Oh my goodness gracious! And what are the quality, like what quality do you see in Ryan and Ryan in Paul that you think is just outstanding?
So this guy I've known since I was 16, but in this year of working together with him is just shining this incredible light on what an incredible human being he is, first and foremost. He's an incredible family man. He's loving. He's caring, he's aggressive, he's a winner. So he has both sides, right? And that's a rare combination to find in a human. And he's extremely intelligent. I've always known he was probably the smartest person that I've ever known. So to be in business with him gives me a lot of security in knowing that.
Yeah.
Additionally, just we competed together in the trenches playing baseball together. So I knew that would be a good marriage. But I really couldn't guess how well it would translate to the business world and how well we work together. It's just, we run parallel lines, we stay in the same lane, we don't cross into each other's territories, and it's just been a perfect harmony. I enjoy every minute of working with this guy every day.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
How
wonderful.
am I supposed to follow that up?
I don't know. Right?
Well, it's been a real blessing,
But
honestly.
yeah, I mean, he's been my best friend for 20 years, right? I love how silly and funny he can get at times to, lighten the mood. His creativity too is what has really surprised me. He is so creative and just the genius on that side. And I should have known, because the fact that he could take a billet, so you have a cylinder of wood that's nothing, and he can see what it's going to look like before he handcrafts it, right? So there's a talent there that's just unmatched. And that's why, last May when he said, let's try and do this as a business, I was like, I swung your bats 15 years ago. I know you have the best eye for this. And there's not many people that can do that on this planet. So it was a no-brainer for me.
I love that. Yeah. And I love the fact that both of you are doing different things, and you're so appreciative of each other. And this truly is a heart-centered business. I mean, you can see it in what you do. You can see it in how you interact. It's just...
We both love blueberry muffins.
Yes.
Me too.
They're the
We
best.
should
muffin.
have one after.
Who brought them? Who knew? So when you look at maybe the evolution of this business, if you can share, what's your vision for the future here?
Yeah, definitely getting into retail. I think that's how this business really scales and takes off, because at the end of the day, we want as many bats as possible, especially in youth hands. We're biased. We prefer that kids and young athletes use wood bats. It's a more pure way of playing baseball, honestly. So that's kind of where we're targeting now, is having those initial conversations with retail on both sides, right? So Canada and the US.
Where can you get your bats right now?
Yeah, so you can get them online.
Yeah.
And then we have several retailers in Canada through Source for Sports,
Okay.
where you can also get them. And you can also get them at Fiverr Sports. So I own an indoor athletic facility in Romeo, Michigan.
Do you really?
Yes, and
Wow.
we have a retail space there.
Oh, wow.
You can also get custom bat fitting there as well. So you can come in. I have a hit track system, and we can figure out what bat model works best for the hitter.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
I'm calling that the Backyard Bat Lab in Romeo, Michigan.
Backyard
yeah,
Bat
it's a very unique
Oh
thing
my
that you
gosh.
can actually go and pick
Wow.
up one of hundreds of different bat models and actually get your hands on it, feel the product, and
my
then
God.
test it out and get a legitimate score from the HitTrex technology that
Yes,
Ryan
yes.
has in the building. So this is
That's amazing.
totally new and very positive for Michigan and the youth.
That's fantastic. You mentioned something about a torpedo bat. If we can
Yes.
shoehorn that in, what is that?
Yeah. So
Yeah, so basically for years the bat's been a traditional shape, right? Like
Yeah.
the cylindrical
Yeah.
nature of the bat extends and continues to get wider as it goes outwards. So this past year, a physicist for the New York Yankees came up with the idea to remove some of the mass at the end of the bat. So the sweet spot on a bat is roughly right here. And by removing mass from the end of the bat, we can add more mass to this area, so creating a larger hitting area within the rules of 2.161 diameter in inches in the center of the bat. So removing mass, creating more barrel, and then obviously that changes a bit of the balance point as well. So hitters are finding it very nice to feel some of that balance closer to the hands as opposed to the end. It's not for everybody, but it is for some players.
Interesting. So you kind of have to retrain your brain on using this because everything's different. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Yankees have almost all of their players swinging torpedoes at this time, which
Oh,
is
really?
unique. Our Phillies guys that we've been working with, some of us just don't like it. So it's a preference
Interesting.
thing at this
I'm going to
point.
go look that up when I get home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost looks like
Fascinating.
a bowling pin at the end of your bat. That's how I would attribute it to. Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh my gosh. Real quick, can we talk about the orange bat and then
Yes.
we're going to do our wrap?
Yeah. So this is our moon
This
fruit
is
line.
pretty.
Yes.
Love
Yeah. So we do
I love all the
moon fruit in ode to hitting balls to the moon.
Moon
it's a
fruit.
it's a saying in baseball, right? So when you hit a ball really far, it goes to the moon. And just being able to
Beautiful.
splatter different paint colors and just fun for the kids as well. Trying to attract, like I said, the youth players to
Yeah.
use more wood bats instead of metal.
And another piece of tech that Ryan integrated onto the website, being able to go on and fully customize that bat to hundreds of different permutations, hundreds of different color options.
Like a kid could go,
Yeah,
customize their stuff and get their parents to make the purchase.
You can
Exactly.
spend hours on that site just clicking and having fun playing with different color
Yeah.
variations.
I
It's
love
really
it.
fun.
Yeah, and the knob sticker too is really important for us. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the
Oh.
Ambassador Bridge.
Oh my gosh.
So Paul
love
created
that.
that design kind of as an ode to Windsor and Detroit for our company.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is
Yeah.
that on every bat?
No,
Or
just
these-
amateur bats.
Amateur
yeah,
bats.
so the
Okay.
professional bats have to have a serial number on them.
Oh,
That way they can
Really?
audit. Yep, so there's a little number that's always engraved in all of them.
is there a number on there?
Yeah, it's just hard
that.
to see through the plastic.
Oh,
But,
wow.
yeah, so from a
Interesting.
compliance perspective, they can trace and do all that good stuff.
Really?
So,
I
yeah.
had no idea. There's all this like tech things behind the
Yes.
scenes. I did not know that. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, as we come to wrap things up, my very last question to each one of you is, what's your advice to entrepreneurs? I mean, you're on this journey. Boy, we needed like a whole nother hour to talk, but
No worries.
we'll start with you, Paul. What
Yeah.
is your advice to entrepreneurs? I mean, you're living this. You're right in the the sweet spot of starting this company. You're making sales. You got connections in the professional world. Big stuff happening on the first day of Major League Baseball opening. What's your advice?
I would say 24 hours at a time. It's
Wow.
really easy to just project out
Yeah.
and you have all these dreams and aspirations, but you really can only bite off what's in front of you at that given time. And staying calculated and staying in the moment would be my advice.
Excellent, excellent. And how about you, Ryan?
So mine as a hitter is don't be afraid to fail. So failure is actually a point of learning, because a lot of folks, if they're afraid to fail, they won't even try to do this. So don't fear failure, take it head on and learn from it.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for an amazing interview. I hope to have you back on in the future sometime. I mean, this is just amazing. So keep in touch for
Thanks
sure.
so much,
Thank you so
Tara.
much. We really appreciate
We're really
it.
grateful.
Absolutely. If you'd like more information about our program, please visit us at www.michiganentrepreneurtv.com. Please join me again in the future when I interview another enterprising entrepreneur. Until then, wishing you the best of business.